Are you missing that key player on your team and don't have the coins to afford them? Go to Buy Mutt Coins for instant delivery on Ultimate Team coins. Use code SAVAGE for 10% off at checkout. Yo guys, what's going on? It's Savage here, and the other day I dropped like my little offense that I'm running, and a lot of you were like, yo, like what defense are you running? It is a pretty good defense, and it's in the 4-6 alternate chemistry, or not alternate chemistry, alternate playbook. And so if you're looking to take this scheme in the Mutt, I think the playbook costs like 50K. It's an elite playbook. It's the 4-6. It gives you 4-6 bears, 4-4 and dollar, and those are like my 3 favorite formations. Well, it gives you bear under, and the only other playbook I think that has this exact like replica is the Saints defense. But don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure that's the only one that has the 4-6 bear under. But for the most part, what a lot of you have been asking me to show you is the blitz, the nickel dogs 2 fire. You guys are like, yo, like, can you do that setup? And I'm pretty sure actually, like, I think J-Mel actually did something on this. But the first time I ever ran this, or I ever learned about this, was I was playing against this competitive dude on PS4 Ultimate Sweaty X. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's some competitive player. He's really freaking good at Madden. And he kept spamming this blitz against my bunch. And I was like, dude, I cannot stop this. I was blocking 7 sometimes. He was still getting heat. But the only bad thing about this blitz is it's really susceptible to the run. So I'm just going to show you my scheme pretty much. Out of bear under 4-4, you guys probably know that scheme already in dollar. But yeah, so this is kind of the defensive playbook I've been in, and you're going to definitely see why I've been in this playbook for a minute now. And we're going to be using the Cowboys, but we're using the Steelers offense just so I can show you a couple things too. So right here now, we're going to just come out in a random pass play for them, and we're just going to run the bear under blitz. So what you want to do is you want to take your left outside linebacker, and you're going to user this guy. So you're going to baseline, then you're going to pinch, you're going to crash, you're going to spread your linebackers, and then you're going to bluff blitz this guy and user him over here. So that when the ball is hiked, you get like a ridiculous edge rush. Oh, I did not mean for you guys to hear the freaking vibration of that controller. But yeah, so now when you set it up like really fast, like at least when I feel like if you set it up really fast, you pass commit, kind of want him to be in like that stance right there. And then like you can kind of sometimes get loop pressure. Obviously in Mutt, you're going to be using players with much higher speeds and stuff than whatever these base speeds are. I don't even know what the speeds of these players are. But I just chose the 2 fastest people on the defense, which is Deion Jones and Vic Beasley, to try this out with. But as you can see, it just gives you a ridiculous loop pressure, plus you're using one guy across the middle. Only thing that sucks is when you're running this blitz is that you're very, 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 very prone to the run. If they run it against you, you're pretty much screwed. But once again, I'm just going to say the setup one more time, and I'll probably put it up on the screen too. It's baseline, pinch your D-line, crash them down, spread your linebackers, bluff blitz this guy, and then pass commit. And then you are set to go, and you can just run it. And there we go. We got both of them to come in that time. So that was pretty lit. Now, like I said, that's just a situational blitz. You're not going to want to like call that every single play, believe me. But if you see your opponent that is a little bit more pass happy, definitely call that, shake them up a little bit. Now next, I'm not even really going to go over the 4-4. I have a whole video dedicated to the 4-4. I just run invert. I don't even blitz out of this formation anymore just because I feel like they definitely nerfed it. It's just great for run defense. It's the best run defense in the game. If you guys haven't watched that video, I suggest you just go look up best defense in the game, and that was the best defense at the game at the time. But for the most part, it is still the best run defense. Now we're on to Dollard, and where everybody knows DB Fire 2 press. Everybody runs that. I know literally everybody runs Dollar. But I want to show you how I run it. I definitely run it a lot differently than most people, and I'm going to show you why. The reason why I think I make this so different is because I only cross man sometimes. So what you have to set up is what I do is I baseline, I pinch, I crash, and then I press, okay? So now most people say, okay, you want to man up this corner over here with the opposite receiver. So circle, and then you man up this guy with square. Now I'm going to tell you why that's really bad. I'm going to show you exactly why I don't do that. So I'm going to man this guy up all the way across the field, cross man, hence the name, on that guy. And then I'm going to man this guy from over here on the guy on the other side of the field. So I have the guy on the right covering the dude on the left and the dude on the left on the right. Now the reason why I do not like this is because of the way that cloud flats are set up. And cloud flats are the little things that you see on the outside, the little light blues. If I fade route Dez Bryant, block my running back, watch how susceptible, look at that. there's nobody over there. Well, Dez really just dropped that. That is actually unbelievable. But that's not the point, dropping it or not. As you can see, by me cross manning, that's not gonna do anything if the dude's just gonna quick read me. So if I'm manning up the opposite receivers, that's not good if I'm playing in cloud flats. Because that's what I do. I always play in cloud flats. So if he's fade routing Dez gets right off that. There's nobody. Well, I mean, that time, Jesus, we really just cannot get lucky right now. But as you can see, Dez can just blow right by that guy for whatever reason. So, oh my God, I just set it up on the wrong controller. But what I do is, just so that, I'm going to just show you that one more time, just so you guys understand the concept of it. What cross manning is supposed to do, it's just supposed to, like, obviously cross man so it looks like they're covered the entire play. But in reality, if they, like I said, if you just fade route that dude, I'm gonna be patient right here. I'm not gonna force it. But see right there, you got that free release. You got right when he's like in like the middle. I'm gonna show you the instant replay just for the mere cause. This is why I don't really like cross man. Right when he like gets like 10 yards into the route, he's on that fade. So the concept of the route is for him to not run straight, but to angle himself. And if you pass it with a good enough angle, possession catch that right in between the two, you're gonna get that. It's not a good. It's not. I don't know. I don't like it. So what I do is I baseline, I pinch, I crash, and then I press. So what I do is I do something a little bit different. I man up the outside defenders on who they're actually supposed to be manned up on. So if they do try to fade glitch me, then they're screwed. Then what I do is I spy my D tackle and I blitz who I'm using. So this is exactly what it looks like. I line him up in the higher in the box. So now if he wants to come out in verticals, the outside dude's manned up, that guy's covered, that guy's cut. It's blanket. Straight blanket. That's what I like. I like that. I would rather have that than potentially get burned over the top with a cheap fade. I don't like getting burned over the top with a cheap fade. I don't know anybody that likes to get burned over the top with a cheap. So when they like the ball now, they're seeing that. They're seeing that. You know what I mean? It's just way more lockdown if you're doing it that way. You're manning up the actual outside corners. Now, for the most part, okay, anybody could say, okay, yeah, you can find ways to beat it. Of course, there's a way to beat every defense in the game. It's a video game. There's going to be ways to beat everything. But now, where the cross-manning thing comes in is for, like, snugs. Mesh. You see mesh right here? The two mesh receivers, square and circle. So you're going to baseline, pinch, crash, press. And then you want to man up the opposite mesh routes, the two mesh routes that are coming across the field, and you're going to once again put them in the cloud flats like that. So you're going to spy again, and you're going to go like this. So now when the two mesh, oh, I just dropped my control. When the two meshes come across the field, they're blanketed. You see that? There's literally nobody open. Then I mean to drop my controller like that. But you can see how much more effective that is than if you were to cross man against freaking bunch. Because if you cross man against bunch, I'll dye you up. But look at this. You see how they're cut, and then they look at that. Where are you gonna throw? Because you know the two drags are the checkdowns, and if you got a good enough user to cover downfield, you're not gonna have to worry about anything. So look at that. They're both of the drags have a dude on them. That's why it's so effective. Now there's definitely plenty of tutorials on YouTube on how to run cross man, how to beat cross man, how to do this, how to do that. But I mean, I definitely like to do some things a little bit different. Now, the last set I'm going to show you how to run dollar out of, like, well, how to go against it, is like a straight up just vertical set like this. Once again, baseline, pinch, crash, press. I once again go to my outside receivers just for the mere fact that I know my user is good enough to cover the seam. So I set it up like this. Because once again, if I didn't set, I'm going to show you, this is how I set it up. So ready, I'm going to hike the ball now. And now you can see, we got that locked up, we got that locked up. And you know, it's just everything is covered right there. Everything is absolutely locked up. But if you wanted to run it the crossman way, which is baseline, pinch, crash, then you man up the X corner on Dez and the triangle corner on X. So now watch this. So ready? Say you're running it like this now. Watch Dez. Gonna put Dez on that fade again. So look who's manned up on Dez. The dude on the right is on the dude on the left. That's cross man. Watch this. Dez gets his release. Waiting. Oh, well, Dez just was not fast enough. But you could see he blows by his player. He blows by the defender. I don't know why people are like so pro cross man when you can literally pick them apart. Once again, I'm going to show you the cross man way just because I want to show you guys, like, that Dez will literally, so there's Dez, waiting. Dude, Robert Alford is a freaking, oh, I didn't put him on a fade. That was my fault. Did not put him on a fade. Oh, you got to put him, if you want to beat Crossman, by the way, and you put him on, if you don't put him on a fade, you'll get picked. But if you put him on a fade, if you put him on just a streak, he won't get that. See how he just peels right off him? You wait, and it's just a dot. Dude, Dez sucks. I'm sorry, Cowboys fans, but Dez blows. But as you can see, man, that's pretty much the whole entire concept of it. You don't really want to cross man, but like I said, I like to come out on the opposite side, man. Like, meaning, like, since I just man them up, like, on the same side, because I know I can cover the seam. Because if you can cover the outside guys, and then you got the seam, like, look at the dude, you got the triangle. That was it. I don't feel like getting fade glitch because it's just so real this year. I'm going to show you guys one more time the crossman tactic. Once again, putting Dez on that fade route. You can even put circle on the fade route. You can put either of them. Look at that. Look at circle. Right? Yeah, okay, cool. Look at, you do not want that. You want to be able to cover him down the field, guys. But as you can see, guys, that is how I do it. I man him up on the outside. You can just watch this video a couple times. I'm sure you guys will understand the concept. And if you have any questions, be sure to comment them down below. Hope this video helps you. Have a wonderful rest of your night.